Hello, this is Victor here with a new tutorial, and this time I want to share with you how I will paint Arhiman. So here we have, I have it in pieces. I have almost all the main parts still separated in different parts, you see here. And it's just, before assembling I want to be sure that I can I have a good access to all the parts that I want to paint. So here we have, I put them in, I primed them in white, and the base I'm going to use is, I will not do it in a tutorial because it's going to be quite a rocky base. I will put him on top of the rock in a way that it looks stable, and I will put some snow using, if you want to see how I do the base, it's going to be similar for what I did for minus the red. So I will start first painting the disc, and from there we will go up to the rest of the parts. So to paint the disc, I will start applying first, I will do this like a ghostly green here, and I will start applying Gauss rifle green. Okay, I will try to give like ghost, smoke, something like that to this, similar to what I did on the changeling. So yeah, we don't need a very detailed brush, and we're just going to apply this, and I will fill all this part here. So we will try to fill all the inside. Okay, try not to dirty too much the other parts, and from there to apply a layer. Okay, but we can use quite, this is the moment we can use quite a big brushes, because yeah, you don't need to go too much in detail. So I will do that, and I come back once this is done. So before it dries, I will start using white scar, okay, and I will start highlighting that. And I do it this, I prefer to do it fresh, because then I can as usual do better blending. And here I want to do quite soft blending, although you see now it's quite heavy. So the intention, and this is too thick. The intention is to go soft, okay, and highlight the smoke, or this thing that I will use it like a mystical mist or something like that. So I imagine more, because I see that the original miniature is on fire, but I think it's I like more doing this type of magical, type of ethereal smoke. Okay, so we are going to do like that. By the way, I'm thinking to split this tutorial by parts. So this part 1 will be just focused on the disc, and then I will work on the other parts, on different parts of videos, because it's easier to work, and I think when you just talk about the disc is a natural thing, and then when you change to the main body is another part. Here I take too much paint, but so I expect to have some parts, and in that way I can dedicate time to each part in the video. So as you can see, what I'm doing is just blending and highlighting by layering this type of ethereal smoke. Okay. Normally the color I'm using is a little bit mixture of, so this pure white, and then I use the green to soften, and then we go to softer white. I would say to softer transition, I want to say. Okay. For example, here I will go to the extreme very white. Then let it blend when it goes in. the intention is really give this type of ethereal look to all this. Okay, I go more white here. Take a little more of white. I keep putting more on the middle. Okay. So the intention is to give, as I said, this type of ethereal look. And this is type, like if it's like magical smoke or something like that. Okay, so you see how I'm working this one here. I will not do the full part. I just want to show you this how it will look like. Okay. Okay, so I will keep working on the rest of this, doing the same. I'm going to do repetition of the same. And as I said, this appearance will be very similar to the magical smoke I add on the changeling. Okay. So I will keep doing that, and I come back once I've had fun. So once the smoke is done, the next I will start painting the disc itself, and I will start applying Thousand Suns blue. So with this I will try to avoid to dirten the parts that have, so I will go with a quite a slow process maybe, but I will apply a base color, trying to avoid the parts that I will paint later on gold colors. So I will just try to leave all these details unpainted, and I will go to paint all these parts. So I will apply this color, okay, and once I have done this layer I will be back. So this is how it looks like after applying the what's called the was not this one, was Thousand Suns blue. And now the next step we will do, here I will need to wait, but we are going to apply Dragon Night shade. Okay, especially I want to do it in that side because this will give a nice shading, okay, and will help me. And here I will be less precise because what I want is to really create this dark line where we are going to have the transition between the gold and the blue. I want this to be, but you want a thin line, so try to avoid that it's too much, that you don't accumulate too much paint in some parts, but be sure that you don't leave anything. You can apply here, These ones are very tricky ones because are very small. Then we're going to do these ones here as well. Okay, and I will do the same all over the place. Okay, this is like a bird shape. This will help a lot to know the limit between the blue and the gold. Okay, I will do this one here and then the rest will be done off camera. But I want you to show what I mean. Okay, you see, I don't have to go too precisely. Okay, but what I want is to be sure that I have the dark line between the part that will be gold later. Okay, this means that when we apply the gold, we will need to be precise, of course. Okay, so I will keep doing that, and I come back once this is done. So this is how it looks like one side and the other side after applying the wash. And now I'm going to apply Retributive Armor, and we are going to do all the trimming on all the different parts, except the parts that we want to keep silver. So I will go with quite a small brush. Okay, and we are going to trim all, we are going to do all this type of flame things that we have around here. I want to be precise, so I want to avoid to go into the blue part, and I will keep applying Retributive Armor on all this trimming. So I will do that, not too much mystery. As you can see, the tip when you're doing this type of trimming is go with the brush. For example, I will show here, you go with the brush quite horizontal, and in that way you can take benefit of the sculpt and avoid to go to dirten the part that we already did in blue. This is why you do first the blue and then you do the trimming. It's always in this order that it works way better. Always go from the deepest part and then go to the most external part later. So I will be doing that. Okay. The question of passing. Also the eyes, I will not do the inside the eyes. I will do around with the gold, but I will keep the eyeball unpainted because we are going to do another effect there. So I will do that and I come back once this is done. So this is how it looks like once the gold trimming is done, and now what we are going to do is we are going to wash the gold with Raglan Flake Shade. So again, we have to be patient with that. Try not to go into the blue. Anyway, at the end you will need to clean up a little bit the blue and the gold. When you do all this type of trimming, it's a question of being patient. Try to use quite a detailed brush. Okay, and we are going to go all over the gold. And these ones that are so small, I don't care if at the end they look more darker, because at the end if some of this goes to the blue, will make it look darker. For example, these ones I will keep them dark. Okay. The important is to be careful not to put the fingers on top of what you have washed and keep moving. So here not much to say neither, just apply that. I don't use the gloss varnish, the gloss wash. I prefer to use the normal one, not gloss, and the reason is because it will make this too shiny. So I tried in the past in another miniature the gloss just to see how it was looking like before, to see if it was adding, and I did not like. The gloss varnish is working well when you're doing completely flat things, but when you do a lot of things with a lot of texture, I prefer to use the matte varnish on the metals. So I will do that, and I will show you once this is done. So the wash on the gold is done. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting the eyes. and I will paint the ace with like a green background, like a demon ace, and I will start applying Gauss Blaster green, okay, on the ace balls. So we are going to do this with a quite detailed brush. The case, to be precise, I will show you these ones here. Okay, so we are going to apply this on the ace. Like that. Okay, and we don't need to forget the small ace that we have around the disc. Okay. So I will do that on all the ace and I come back. So next I'm going to use Coelia shade and apply it on the ace, on the eyes, sorry, but I will do it in that way. So I will not do the full eye, I will apply it mainly around. Okay. Something like that. Okay. So I will do this for all the eyes and I come back. To be sure that the eyes are drying, I start painting this type of marks or runes here. And what I do is the next. I'm using Bahar blue, okay, the H paint, and Arhiman blue, what was the base color we used before. And the first thing I do is I try to fill the rune. I was hesitating to do that or not, this is why I did the test, but I really like to have it the opposite, so to have the runes brighter than darker. Although of course for painting you can skip this step if you don't like it, but I like this to make them like if they are glowing. So this way I go with this. So you fill the rune with Bahar blue. Okay, I'm not going to fill them all, but I will do this part here as an example, and then you can imagine I will do the rest of the disc. So, and don't worry if you go a little bit off, try not to go too much, but what is important is not to leave, like here, any dark spots. So we want really to eliminate the dark wash there. Okay, this is why I go a little bit thick. Right, I will do these two runes here. Okay, and once this is done, I go with Arhiman blue and I start going next to the rune. And as I said, you want to avoid any shade or dark spot inside of the rune. Okay. Okay, I guess you get the idea. So I will do all these glowing runes and I come back once this is done, following the same process on all of them. So here, for example, we need to work a little bit more to eliminate these dark lines. So you really want to avoid to have any shade next to the rune, because this will really mess up with the effect. So I keep doing that and I come back once it's done. So this all looks like now that I have did the same in all the runes. And the next step I'm going to use the scar white. Okay, white scar, I have to say, I always say it the wrong. And we are going to add some very soft but some bright, and if it's too much, again we go back with the Bahar blue and we can soften. Okay, I went out of the room. So we go with the previous color. Okay, but we do that on all the runes. We're gonna put this one with the V shape. Okay, and then we clean up. Same here. We go we keep doing that. Okay. Okay, so I will do that on all the runes and I come back. This is how the runes look like now, and now that we have the blue already prepared, I'm going to do very soft highlight here. I go back with Arhiman blue and I apply this in the middle of the different plates, and then here on the borders we will go with Arhiman blue. I will not use background blue, just Arhiman blue with this type of slight edge highlight on this part, because with the washes it's quite dark. Okay, so I will do that. I will highlight the different armor page here, for example, this one. Okay, it goes like that. Okay. So I will be doing that and I come back once it is done. So now we have all the highlight done here. I think this is looking quite okay. We are going to start painting the eye. Sorry. So on these eyes, I want to do this. I take Abaddon black and I do something like that. Okay. So first I start with a line. That. Then in the very small ones, we just do a vertical line almost. Something like that. Okay. So I will do the rest of the eyes and I come back. So this is how the eyes are looking now. And next I'm going to take a little bit of Gauss Blaster Green. Okay, and we are going to help to correct some of the eyes. Like that. And like that. So I just wanted to show you if it's not working the first time. with the black, just with the green, we can clean up the mistakes. Okay. For example, this one. Okay. Then the last thing that I want to do on the eyes is just with white we are going to add a very small dot. We're going to add a dot. Almost there. This will increase the sensation of brightness. Okay, and we do the same on the small ones. Here we have to be patient. Okay. Then once this is done, we are going to start highlighting the gold, and to do that, I'm going to use Auric Armor Gold. Okay. Let me show here. What I'm going to do is, for example, here I will go on these flames and apply Auric Armor Gold on the flames. Here I'm going to apply it there. We are going to create some bright points, and it's important that this time we don't mess up with anything. Okay. So you see the difference before and after doing that. It will increase the brightness of the gold. Okay. Of course we are going to do the same here. So we are going to do, for example, here this type of bird. Okay, and then we are going to and we do this. Okay, so I will do this all over the armor and I come back. So this is how it's looking like after I glue it on the base as well, and yeah, after doing the first highlight on the gold. So now I'm going to I glue it because I want to paint the spikes, and it's easier to hold now if it's not if it's glued to the base. So I'm going to do the spikes in a silver, but I will give it like gold tint or something like that. I will use trash metal for that. So we need to shake very well the scale 75 colors. So this trash metal from scale 75, we need really to shake it well. And I'm going to do the spikes so that they are different than the rest of the gold armor. And I'm realizing that I will need maybe to do a second highlight on the gold parts, maybe using combination of silver and auric armor gold. So, but first we are going to use this trash metal on this type of spikes. Okay. I don't think we need a very precise brush to do that. And as usual, we do a thin layer. Okay, and I go for this because I want to go for, I will then highlight with spin metal, and when I do the highlight for this on the spin metal, I will do as well the highlight on the gold. So I will do that, apply this on the spikes. Okay, and once this is done, I will come back and we are going to do the last highlight on this disc. Also take into account, I will show you later, that we have to think that the Arhiman goes on top of this disc and will cover part of this flat area. So I will do that. I will apply trash metal on all these spikes and I come back once this is done. This is how it looks like after applying trash metal on all the spikes. And next I'm going to use a spin metal, and I will use a spin metal to highlight a little bit the gold. So we are going to need also auric armor gold to soften that. We are going to blend it a little bit, and we are going to use also this to highlight these spikes. I'm not doing the wash yet on this on these spikes. I will do it later on. Need some washes at the base, but I'm waiting that this is dry. So normally if you want, you can wait that it's dry and do the wash before doing the highlights. This is normal stage. I don't think it's going to matter too much in that case. I just put here on my palette the silver color. And let's start first with the gold. I'll show you how. So on the gold, I will go, for example, on the parts that are like this type of edges. Okay. And we want to add, for example, here we need also the auric armor gold. What we want to do is to add a little bit of highlight on the spikes. For example, here I go with the auric armor gold, and then I take the silver and I do the extreme. So we do the same on all these type of spikes, and we'll give a more interesting look to all this. So we are going to apply this, just small touches, but they will give the gold more depth. You don't need to touch all the spikes, but touch some of them. Okay, and as this is quite a symmetrical piece, try to apply it quite in the same way in all through the piece. No, try to be consistent, I would say. Okay, so I'm going to do that. You can see I'm applying here, and in the meantime, this is a big mistake there. So most likely I will need to redo this A, then just removing. Mistakes happen. So but I will keep doing that. Okay, doing all these highlights. You see the idea here. Just touching. I will not do too much on this part. This part, the only part visible of all this thing on the front is going to be most likely the front, but I will wait until I have the miniature on top to do the final highlight. What we can do is maybe add a little bit here, because this is the part that is not sure now what is the part that is visible. So let me just check. So the visible part is this part here on the front. You see, I'm almost on the full disc is covered. So we are going just to add some highlight here to clean up this a little bit, and we are going to do something like that. We change to small brush. This is the reason I was using the wrong brush, to be fair. Okay. And also the other thing you will always notice with the metallics is that they have a different rheology. They flow differently than the normal paints, and I think most likely is because of the things you need to put to make to solve the metallic, or to put in suspension the metallic parts on the paint. So this makes the paint a little bit different than the other paints, and sometimes the behavior is a little bit different. What I'm doing now is then trying to do all these rivets we have at the back. I should say at the bottom, but you understand me. And the ones that are difficult to reach, I will not do them, because they are difficult to reach. They will be difficult to see. Okay. The thing we are going to do is we are going to okay. So I will keep doing that. I will keep highlighting with this mixture of speed metal and Auric Armor Gold, the gold. But the other thing I want to show you is what we are going to do with these big spikes, and we are going to do this. Okay, I will highlight this edge. I will highlight this one. Okay, and I will do this thing here. Okay. And I have here still some of the trash metal, and I mix it and I put it there. As well, there. Okay, so I will keep working, highlighting all the metallic parts. And once I'm done with that, I will put the video back. Okay, so I will do that and I come back to you. This is how the disc is looking like right now. Okay, I just add all the highlights. I don't know if this is really visible because it's very shiny for the camera, but I have been done the highlights. And the next step I will do is I will add a little bit of wash. I will use Nun oil, and I will put it mainly to add a little bit more definition on these blades. Okay, what we are going to do carefully, I'm going to add this here. Okay. I want to do that, and then very soft I will do, starting from the bottom, something like that. Okay, we can add a little bit here as well. And that's all. Let's do a little bit more on this. So we follow the recesses and then we do this type of things. Let me repeat it on this small blade, for example. So on the small blade I will follow that. Okay. Like that. Then very soft I do this. The same on the other side. And very little on there. Okay, so the same we do for all the blades, and I'm back. So this is how it looks like at the end of the disc. Okay, you see on this side and also from the top. Let's see if I can zoom a little bit even more. So this is how it looks like. Okay, and we are going to stop here. This first part on the painting tutorial is to paint the disc, and we are going to change now. In the second part, I will paint Arhiman itself, the main body. So I will paint Arhiman in the next part. But here is I finalize the first part. So this is how I prepare the disc. Maybe we will need to do some fine tuning once everything is assembled. But yeah, I think it's looking quite good. And yeah, and this is the comments below. Give a like if you have liked this tutorial. Let me know what do you think. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again in the second part. Bye.